I played through Pokemon Shield using some of the least used Pokemon that were new to that generation. With our core of 3 that we'll be using for the entire beginning of this game, we have Skwovet, Arrokuda, and Nickit. These will be the only 3 Pokemon we'll be having on our team until once we get through the first 3 gyms. After getting through the very boring beginning of this game, where we have to battle hop multiple times, finally get to Route 3, we can start making our way to the first gym. This is where we face the first real challenge in this game, Schoolgirl Hannah and her Pancham. From previous experience from my Nuzlocke in this game, why is this trainer with just one level 13 Pancham so hard? Into a slight problem with a trainer with a Pancham. Fighting type was super effective against one of my Pokemon, and it was strong and did quite a bit of damage with its Circle Throw move. This Pancham was very difficult to beat. This trainer's Pancham caused the first casualty. I had to sacrifice Professional in order to heal my other Pokemon. So there's no way we're gonna totally mess this up again against Schoolgirl Hannah. I mean, right? We can't screw this up again. I should lead with Nickit, even though he's weak to fighting, just to get some damage, because unlike in the Nuzlocke, if Pokemon dies, they aren't dead for the whole run. I'm really just using 6 Pokemon, only those Pokemon the entire time, so I'm able to lower Pancham's defense here. Unsurprisingly, Nickit gets 1 hit. I then put in another one that is weak to fighting type with our Skwovet. And Skwovet, once again, just try to lower defense. I try to get the defense down as low as possible so I can hit with the super effective move, Peck, with our Arrokuda. Despite lowering the defense, Mildred, our Arrokuda, is not able to get enough damage done, and I lose the fight to Schoolgirl Hannah. This cannot be happening. Luckily, I have some berries, so I'm able to utilize Skwovet's Cheek Pouch ability. And by doing that, I am finally able to put my horrible past with this easy trainer behind me and win the battle. We get a perfectly timed evolution, as Nickit evolves right before the first gym. We'll now have a Thievul against Milo and his grass types. First gym just doesn't end up being a problem at all. Thievul just sweeps through it pretty much, getting through both of his Pokemon. We then have another rival battle of Hop. It's not that much of an issue again, except Raboot does knock out Skwovet with double kick. Other than that, pretty easy victory. It's then time for a battle against Nessa, who is a pretty hard gym leader for this early in the game. Arrokuda gets Whirlpool with the critical hit. I'm also confused, so... Nope. Unsurprisingly, I get really bad luck, hit myself in confusion, and then Whirlpool knocks me out, and Skwovet's dead. I bring my Arrokuda in against the other Arrokuda, knock it out, and I just end up stalling out until Dreadnought comes out. I Dynamax, stall out it, so I can be Dynamax while it's not. And I'm able to knock it out with 2 Max Darknesses. On our way to the Fire Gym, Skwovet evolves into Gradient, but not only that, Arrokuda also evolves into Barraskewda. It goes the powerful Water type, which should make this Fire Gym much easier, and Gradient will also be useful as well. Kabu ends up being a pretty easy fight. Mildred just gets through all 3 Pokemon just by spamming Dive. Right here could have been Be bad. If it was faster, that Will-O-Wisp could have made things pretty difficult, but since it didn't hit, it's an easy sweep. And against the G-Max sent to Scorch, I get a 2-hit KO while Dynamax. Right here we have another very fun random trainer fight who uses a metronome Clefairy. The last time I played this game, it used like Fusion Flare. This time it takes the annoying route. Wait, what move could it use? Of course, it uses Double Team. Luckily, I'm still able to knock it out. I get lucky and hit it, but that could have been annoying. I bring my fossils and get my 4th Pokemon here. I don't know what fossil Pokemon's the least used. I know it's not Dracovish. I just decide to end up going with Arctozolt, which gives us our 4th Pokemon on our team. Also, some point between these gyms, I also caught a Galarian Mr. Mime from a max raid. I had footage for it. I have no idea what happened to it, but we have 5 Pokemon now. My strategy for this gym does not involve any new Pokemon we caught. I decided to use Greedent for the early Pokemon, because it's immune to Ghost. It is able to take out Pokemon with its Dark-type move, Payback. It gets through every Pokemon up until the Gengar. Now, Gigantamax Gengar is really annoying to deal with, so I decided to stall it out, let my other Pokemon get knocked out. And then once it's no longer Dynamaxed, I bring in Thievul, and it just knocks it out pretty easily. I use a similar strategy for the next gym with the Alcremie. This gym is much easier. I only lose like 1 Pokemon. And this time I use the new Gigantamax Arctozolt, and it is able to knock out the Alcremie. I battle hop in between the next 2 gyms. Just use a bunch of different Pokemon here. Mr. Mime gets its first use of work, getting rid of this Trevenant. And, Barraskewda just proves to be very useful against Hot Cinderace. And Thievul probably ends. I'd say currently the MVP of this run has just been extremely useful in almost every battle. I catch our final member, Gertrude the Pinchurin, which has to be the least used Pokemon of all the new Gen 8 Pokemon. I mean, it's either probably this or maybe like Ice Cube Stonjourner, but they're version exclusives, and I decided not to include them in this. But I mean, who used Pinchurin on their team? It is awful. I mean, all it's useful for is in having being able to get electric terrain through its ability, which I wasn't able to even use because it's a certain ability. So, Pinchurin will be very useful for us this run. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely useful. Definitely doesn't have a type overlap anyways in the first place. I just decide to get through the G-Max, just wait it out, and once again, it is Thievul getting... Piers ends up being a very tough gym battle. Scrafty knocks out 3 Pokemon right at the beginning. I'm really not able to get anything done against it. It just keeps avoiding attacks. Get very unlucky. Mildred finally is able to get some damage done to it before it's taken out. With only 3 Pokemon left, I bring in Archvisual doesn't have any strong moves, but it does have some okay moves, and I'm able to use Thundershock, and I avoid the attack with Super Out and Knockout Strike. Next Pokemon ended up being much easier to take down. I lose only one more over the next two. Greedent gets pretty close to getting knocked out, but I get rid of Malamar, and we have one more Pokemon to knock out. Skuntank knocks out Greedent, which only leaves Thievul once again. Thievul has Dig, which is super effective. Question is, will we be able to get enough damage to knock it out? And Thievul gets the one-hit KO, and another gym battle won. Mr. Mime evolves into Mr. Rhyme, which will be our final evolution. So we'll have a new Pokemon before taking on the gym. We're now at the tail end of the game, just a few more battles to go, and first up, it's Marnie. I lead with Mildred, as I thought it would be able to outspeed Liepard, and I just forgot its name, despite being right in front of me. It doesn't, though, and I'm able to still get good damage off, and still able to knock out the Liepard because of Aqua Jet, which was the whole plan with leading him. He gets some good damage done once again against Morpeko before he's knocked out. The rest of the Pokemon are taken out, and I just sacrifice some Pokemon. Get through Grimmsnarl, G-Max, and decide to use Body Slam to get the health down. And it gets a crit, which knocks out Grimmsnarl. Next up is the battle that ended by Nuzlocke. This time I was hoping to win the battle. Mr. Rhino gets knocked out by the double. However, we fight through the paralysis and knock it out. Corviknight, another third Pokemon. We will take it out with Thundershock. After a slow start to this game, Archvisual started to end up being pretty useful and really showed up in this fight. After knocking out Corviknight, it faced a huge threat in Snorlax. Took a big critical hit, but it was able to finish off another one with Icicle Spear to get its second KO of the match. After getting its 2 KOs, it gets some good damage off against Pinchurin before dying to Pinchurin. A bit embarrassing, but no, Pinchurin's shown not to be as bad as I thought it would be. Did finish off a fight, so we'll give Pinchurin some credit. G-Max in the race is not a problem at all, as it's easily taken care of by Barraskewda. Next is the battle against Oleana, where I end up actually having to once again Dynamax my Pinchurin, because it's my Milotic is killing my entire team, and that's the only thing with a super effective move that hasn't died. Now, I'm a bit skeptical how much damage this is going to do. but Max Lightning ends up knocking out my Lodic. I mean, hey, I'll take it. No, that now sets up electric terrain, and Pincharin could end up being pretty useful in this battle somehow. Next brings out Salazzle, and Max Lightning ends up getting another one-hit KO. Battle ends up thing. I get finish it off with Thievul getting a dig KO against Garbodor, who Gigantamax I stall once again. I get through Bidet's first Pokemon and stall Gmax Hatterene by using Calm Mind with Mr. Rhyme to raise its defenses. No longer Dynamax, I use Shadow Ball and am able to one-hit KO Hatterene. Next up is Nessa, who will be battling once again. I lead with Greedent, who I gave Bullet Seed for this battle, so it has a super effective move. Just like in the gym battle, ends up being Dreadnought versus Thievul again, and once again, I stall out the Gigantamax and finish it off with a super effective Max Quake. Next up is Alistair. Mr. Rhyme, who's been probably our worst team member, actually. Really hasn't had any big showings, but despite being weak to Ghost, has a pretty good showing here, and is able to knock out Dusknoir, one of the scarier Pokemon on this team. Gigantamax Gengar is definitely evil again, who's just been able all games to find and finish off his Pokemon. Easily the MVP of this list. Despite its weakness to Torkoal, I put in Arctozolt first, and able to get off Ancient Power Boost with its super effective move. And get the knockout here. And I am getting a pretty good run going on here. Not only to knock out Torkoal, next brings out Turtonator, and with its super effective Ancient Power, not only able to get these knockouts with it, able to get some boosts as well. I think I got 2 boosts this battle, so Burfa's just been very useful this battle. Next is Flygon, and I have a super effective Ice move, and another knockout. Gudra goes down as well after a full restore is used, giving a 4th knockout, only 1 away from the sweep. I tried this to go ahead, just go for the sweep. I Dynamax and use Max Hailstorm twice. Duraludon barely holds on the 2 hits, and very close to getting a sweep here. Both Pokemon at very low HP. However, I get knocked out from Sandstorm that is set up by the last move. I still get the win, and then I have 2 battles left. Chairman Rose, followed by the champion Leon. So I don't have anything really to do with this deal with Berserker. It knocks out some of my Pokemon. I just can't do anything, so the only way to get rid of this, I'm gonna have to like one hit KO it using my Dynamax Deevil, so I'll have to use it early in the battle. I am still Dynamaxed when Cooper Roger comes in. I get so close to a one-hit KO. However, it holds on. If I can survive this one more hit, though, I will get the win. And I survive on 2 HP. We're now at the champion fight, and Thievul leading off once again to verse Aegislash with its super effective dark moves. It takes a big hit. Not what I wanted early in this match. However, I am able to knock it out with Snarl. It's one Pokemon down. Rhyperior is easily knocked out with Arrokuda. After that, I switch into Arctozolt and get another super effective knockout, knocking out the pseudo-legendary Dragapult. I go for another knockout hit with another Icicle Spear. However, Earthquake easily knocks out Arctozolt. I pick Ingredient and go for this KO by using Counter, and I'm able to successfully do it. I start out the Dynamax and Charizard because its G-Max move's just way too overpowered. I don't want to risk losing Arrokuda, who is our easy win card against Charizard with its super effective Max Geyser, and it gets the win. We have successfully defeated Leon and become champion using the least used new Gen 8 Pokemon. Before we finish, we had one more thing to do. Let's go back to where we caught Arrokuda, who finished off the battle. And, you know, I think we should add a Magikarp to our team. You know what? What if we use the Master Ball? This is the truly used Pokemon. I bet no one's used a Master Ball of Magikarp on their team before. If anyone has, tell me otherwise in the comments.